fortunate enough to say, because it's crazy, man. We kind of been talking about this lately at work, and I have some friends that are publicists, and I have this knack where even people who normally would not, engage much in interviews, when I talk to them, they just open the fuck up, But I had my bumps in the road. I'll go back to, this was my third interview ever. I was 19. I interviewed Jim Jones back in the day. Shout out to Jim Jones. And I remember I went to the studio. Dame Dash was in there. Ryan Leslie was in there. And I was green myself, man. I'm coming off from interviewing Joe Budden at 112. I'm in my bag. I'm like, listen, I got this. So this was around the time Jim was beefing with Jay-Z. They were going back and forth. Jay-Z did the Brooklyn diss. He jumped over Ballin and did the diss to Jim Jones. And I remember I seen a video. There was a question I asked. First off, Jim offered me to smoke weed. I said, nah. I was like, yo, I'm on the job. I'm 19. I don't do this stuff. And I remember he was already annoyed off that. And I seen a video of him in the club. He was a video of him in the club dancing to Swagger Like Us. And he's rapping Jay's verse. So I'm a 19-year-old. And I'm just like, you know what, Jim, I think it's kind of crazy. You're in the club, you're beefing with Jay, but you're singing the verse of Swagger Like Us. And he's like, what the fuck you say to me, little man? I said, yo, I'm just saying, why are you in the club singing this man's verse when you got so much heat for him? He's like, nah, get this motherfucker out of here. Who the fuck you think you talking to? I'm about to slap. He threatened to body my frail 19-year-old ass right then and there. And, it ended up being a solid interview, but that interview stained me for so long, where it was like, yo, maybe I shouldn't ask the tough questions, but, I followed through and I trusted myself because I said, listen, there are going to be times you're going to find artists that A, they don't open up, B, they're going to just be in a shitty mood, and C, they're either hungry, they're stressed, and you got to just maneuver through it. So I think, to answer your question now, it's kind of just, you got to trust your questions, you got to trust your interviewing skills, and you got to trust your confidence and your personality to help you weave in and out of that interview, because you can't control their mood when they come in, but you can shift it depending on your tone of the interview and the line of questioning that you have. This is an interview that I actually did not get, and it's still on my bucket list to this day. I went to go to, I forgot, it was a CD store. This was around 2010, 2011, whenever Born Sinner came out. So this was for J. Cole. I was supposed to interview J. Cole at this CD signing place. He was there for maybe 5-6 hours. And I waited. And I was the only one I was going to talk to. And I was waiting. My man, shout out to Peter Stater, he blessed me, different opportunities. So I can't even be mad at him for that one. But, Cole had went through like maybe 2,000 people just signing. And I waited and waited and waited. And I was just grilling him the whole time, like, yo, I'm really about to interview J. Cole, because he's one of my favorite rappers. And Peter comes up to me, he's like, yo, bro, like, I don't even know if we can do this interview, man. Because Cole looked like he's about to die. Like, he hasn't eaten. I think he maybe had a bottle of water, but that's it. And I'm like, yo, Pete, nah, man, I need this, bro. I need this. Can we please make this happen? And he said no, because he was like, yo, we're going to reschedule. Don't worry about it. I got you. That interview never got rescheduled, and I have yet to talk to Jermaine Lamar Cole. I only got 2 artists left on my bucket. It's him and Drake. But, there have been different times where, like, I've gone to a listening party and I would have to ride with the rapper, and you know what I mean? And ride in their whips, or, I would have to, there's a shit ton of noise. I would have to deal with that and deal with their entourage, wilding out, ODing. Even with my cover, I interviewed the baby for our cover story last year called Power Play. And that, I was running around with him trying to make sure, like, I can, record him when he wasn't ready. And, fortunately we were able to lock him down in the whip, and ended up being a classic interview for me. But yeah, man, shout out to you for staying the course, because that's the thing that's going to make or break a lot of journalists, a lot of publications, whether you decide to dip out or whether you decide to weather it. You know, because if you stay, look what happened. You know, you ended up getting a dope interview. And even in my case, if you don't, you still have that hope that, okay, you know, you still have that relationship with that publicist to where they'll hit you up the next time and be like, yo, I do remember you waiting X amount of hours. Let's actually get this done. So it's a business at the end of the day, right? You know, you're going to have things that end up working your way, and then you're going to have things that don't necessarily go your way. But at the end of the day, you just have to stay true to your convictions. You just got to stay faithful and trust that, you know, that opportunity is going to come again. You know, I remember when I first started off, this was maybe 2021 when I started getting on my feet, like doing interviews and stuff. And I remember I stopped getting emails from like certain publicists. And I used to shit bricks. I'm like, wait a minute, why am I not getting these emails? And I would hit them up for interview requests and not hear nothing. It was crickets. So there was a certain point, I'm like, holy shit, am I blackballed? I'm 21, 22, so I'm like a baby. I'm new to this. I'm like, yo, why are they not responding to me, not knowing they're working multiple artists, huge ass artists at the time. You know, but in my mind, I was like, yo, did I do a bad story? Or did I forget to hit send on that email? Or did I review an album that I didn't like and I shitted on it? And, you know, I remember reaching out to one of my publicist friends about it. And, you know, she was like, yo, these people have lives. You know, not only have regular lives, they have their professional lives. And imagine how many other people are hitting them up for interview requests, just for simple emails. And, you know, from then on, I was like, all right, let me not take shit personal. And, you know, I learned at the end of the day, even if you look at it, I'm sure you get a shit ton of email, whether it's from young artists trying to hit you up to get a look, whether it's publicists. And, you know, I communicate that the same way. I'm like, hey, guys, listen, I may not respond to you now. Don't take it personally. But I will do my best to get back to you in the future. I always tell people that I might not respond right then and there, but I'll make sure I see it and I'll get back to you. If it's not tomorrow, it'll be sometime. So it can go either way, you know?